primaries.
But, no, hold on. But is that the case when you look at how the political dynamics is playing out? If you say that you have done that in 2007 and you succeeded, what guarantees do you have that in 2019, if the president becomes president, will be able to work with another governor who is not an APC from your state, for instance?
Well, if you look at the antecedents of Mr. President, since he became president since 2015, one of his greatest positives, and all the governors, Governor Mahi has attested to it, Obiano of Anambra has attested to it, all the governors...
The River State governor attest to it?
All the governors who are not of APC extraction will tell you that the president has been fair to all. Bailout funds that have been released
But they have not said so.
They have said so, please.
All the
I said most of the governors. Please.
Has the River State governor said so?
I don't know. I don't know. But I know that Umahi has been talking about it. Obiano has been talking about it. There is nothing. I repeat, there is nothing. You won't know the difference between a PDP state and an APC state. On a very, very serious note.
You know, you talk about history.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember recent history as well. It happened in Lagos when two parties, you know, they were almost from the same camp, going at each other. And then the third person strolled into the leadership of the state. Okay. Something that this may just be what will happen in Imo, because you have equally strong candidates in the state who, while the APC infighting amongst yourselves, will just cost you.
No, we don't have infight. We don't have...
You're supporting a separate governorship candidate.
No, excuse me.
Who's your governor? Who are you supporting?
I am supporting Ogumba Uchenwosu, the winner of APC primaries in Imo.
Is he a candidate of the APC?
He's a candidate of the Action Alliance.
So that's what I'm saying?
Yes. He's a candidate of the Action Alliance. Remember, even the Hope Uzodimma, Hope is not an APC member. Hope has not even registered in his ward as an APC member. I'm being very serious. He's a PDP member that switched in 2 weeks before primaries.
But that's besides the point, because as it is today on INEC's list, he is the...
We agree. And to avoid, you see, because our governor, thank God for our Owele Chatana Okorocha, a man of candor, if not for Owele and his attitude and his disposition to peace, you will have noticed what happened in Ogun 2 days ago will have been a child's play compared to what would have happened in Imo. And the man, because of his calm and peaceful disposition, when all these things were going on, said, withdraw all these court cases. Let us get another platform. Uche said he wanted to go to another platform. The man said, if that is what you want, go to another platform. We will support you. Because we know, even the House of Assembly members, 24 out of 27 of them who won their tickets were taken from them and handed over to people who did not run for primaries. And so they all moved with Uchenwosu. As we speak, the Speaker of Imo House Assembly, the Deputy Speaker of Imo House Assembly, all the including PDP members have left and joined a Action Alliance.
All right.
Let's have joined Action Alliance to support Ugumba Uchenwosu's salvation, and they are all candidates of Action Alliance.
Let's head to Abuja so we have to get another perspective on the matter. Markwe?
Well, in our Abuja studios here, we have with us Mr. Ahmed Buhari, who is a member of the All Progressives Congress. You're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you very much.
Well, you've heard Mr. Steve Asimobi there. What do you make of it? Is this the house divided against itself?
Well, there's no doubt that many houses have internal fightings and confusion sometimes, and in most cases it's because of our quest for superiority or trying to show that there's no inferiority complexity on any side. There's no doubt that in Ogun and in Imo State we've had a few of this kind of situations, but the point still remains that whether it's the AA party or the APC party in Imo State or the APM or the APC in Ogun State, the truth of the matter is that they're all children of the same parents. And so at the end of the day, I do not see anybody in all of those areas shouting PDP power. So at the end of the day, these two parties are still for the APC. They're still working with the APC. They're still supporting the APC. At the end of the day, in my opinion, from my calculations, it's very clear that everybody is still going to come back to the APC and make sure that we work together as a unified government. And this also extends to every other emergence of political candidates from any party. I mean, I've seen a clear display of inclusivity from this current administration, especially with Mr. President, who, regardless of the party you're from, as a governor, we were ready to work with you. So I think there's tension, and I am hoping and praying that at the end of the day, we'll find out that this is all but mixed up with regards to inferiority complexity or superiority complexity, as the case may be.
How do you react to what he's been saying about being in one party and supporting another?
Like I told you, it's more like your brother is somewhere else in another home, and then you say you're not going to talk to him ever again. It's still your brother. So I'm optimistic that at the end of the day, all these parties that have sort of pulled out were just, doing that as a means to prove to an extent what they stand for. So for me, I still see the AA party and gubernatorial candidates strongly with Rochester Okorocha, who is in the APC, and Hope Uzodinma on the other side, who was in the PDP before, has come with all his supporters into the APC, and there's APC already on ground. So for me, it's a win-win situation anyhow you want to look at it.
It's a win-win situation when you have other contenders on the ground, because, and then you also have an outing somebody might describe as embarrassing in Ogun State. Your party has described it as embarrassing and has promised to punish those who are responsible for embarrassing the president and the party in Ogun State.
Yeah, so I think what happened in Ogun State as well was just party members trying to express their disdain with some of the irregularities that must have happened in their own opinion. Again, the APM or the APC, in my opinion, are still, from the same party. It's a breakout from the APC because some people were aggrieved or wanted to express themselves in other ways. In my opinion, I think moving forward as a country, as a people, politically, we must create that avenue where everybody must have or must be seen to go through a process where there's transparency, where there's efficiency, where there's accountability. And this is the build-up of a better democracy, in my opinion. I think I haven't seen anything gone wrong so much. These are supposed to be lessons to be learned as we progress, and that too much control from an individual over some of these processes are things that we would have to check moving forward. So for me, I'm not concerned about two things happening here. However, I would like to see the resolve as soon as possible so that we can move forward. I'm even more concerned about what we've seen happen in the PDP. I mean, a lot of people will say, oh, everything seems right in the PDP, but in reality, while we're thinking of the APC having these issues, we're not even asking ourselves what really went on in the PDP primaries.
But the APC issues have resulted in you not having a candidate in Rivers, for instance,
yes,
and not even being able to field candidates in Zamfara at all.
Yes.
Isn't that embarrassing? It
is embarrassing. It's most unfortunate, and I told you about the superiority complexity that some individuals portray when it comes to the political space, and these are the things that we would have to checkmate so that they do not reoccur. So when I tried to talk about the PDP earlier, what I'm really concerned about is what happened in the primaries. I'm looking at how we've managed to see a Saraki, a Tambuwal, a Kwankwaso, and all the presidential aspirants in the PDP who thought they were truly working towards a free, credible, and transparent exercise. Unknown to them, Uche Secondas, who's the chairman of the party, has been working with Atiku Abubakar all this while. I mean, if you look at the 2017 financial report from Intel Nigeria Limited, it's clearly showing Uche Secondas as one of the directors. To me, this is very worrying because it now looks as if the PDP primaries was already concluded even before it started.
But the interesting thing is they are not all saying we are presidential candidates. They've all teamed up behind their candidates.
That is because,
as they ought to, and they're campaigning with him. That is not the case in your party.
That is because they do not know what has happened. What I'm telling you right now is, on the side of Atiku, he's managed to coin Uche Secondas on his side. He's managed to call Governor Wike on his side, so that they can actually rob the rest of the people of what they could have had. And in my opinion, this is something that we should be looking at. The PDP should understand that, look,
you want to focus on the PDP, but the truth of the matter is you are in the APC, isn't that right?
Yes.
You're still in the APC?
I am.
Good. Now, in the APC, you have not been able to field candidates in Zamfara. The rancor you have had in your party has been so bad, you have not been able to field candidates in Zamfara. You have not been able to field candidates in Rivers as well. And then you also you've had rancorous situations in Imo. You've had one in Ogun State as well. You've also had, your candidates having to go to appeal courts. Go up in Kwara State. The candidate has had to be reaffirmed as a candidate in Kwara State. Why is this so?
This is not just peculiar to the APC, but you should also understand that because of the party in the center, there is this unlimited desperation from candidates, and this is a concern. And there are certain things that the party or the leadership of the party may not be able to control based on individual pursuits that may be seen to be very, very, very unfortunate.
Well, I'm wondering how you're going to put. Some people will say that the president has not been firm enough because he's not directly affected. I mean, all the people who seem to be fighting, the infighting, he seems to, you know, his place as president or as their president still seems to be assured. They are still going to be voting for him. They're still campaigning. So in Ogun State, for instance, you have APM and APC saying President Buhari is our candidate. In River State, you know, he was out there for the presidential candidate, and everybody, it would seem, are still saying we're going to vote for the president. So is that why he's been a little indifferent? It was saying that people should vote for whoever it is that they want.
I think he just allowed the democratic process to take place, really. And the lack of interference from him is what I do respect. I mean, all the president might want to go on the ground and ensure that they impose. In fact, in previous times, presidents impose on states who they want to see there. I've seen a president, I've seen a personality who has decided to, you know, I'll stand in the corner, I'm not going to interfere in your politics, I'm going to let you do the right things, and I hope you do the right things. But unfortunately...
But when the right things are not done, and you have a situation where you have rival parties, rival candidates, all of them saying they support you, but, you know, they have different candidates in the state. You know, how is it leader
that's the interesting thing with exactly from where I started. I did say to you very clearly that if you do look at this whole thing very clearly, you can see that all the other parties, whether they aggrieved or the breakouts or the new parties formed, they're all still saying we're going to support President Muhammad Buhari. So in any way, in any case, I still see a group of people who still belong to the same parents. And I'm hoping and I'm positive that when this whole process is done, we'll have a way to bring back everybody and have a move forward together as one party. It's like I said, it's been unfortunate, and I think it's that limited desperation for superiority complexity that exists in the minds of certain people.
Well, let's go to breakdown. When we come back, we'll be asking Mr. Asimobi whether he thinks that, you know, everybody will be coming back after the polls. Will there still be a party after the polls in these states? Please stay with us.